Namaskar. Today it's April 19th, 2026. Welcome to day 37 of Satvik Yogi Path. Today I'm bringing Yoga Sutra 1.36 and 1.37 together because the teachings of these two sutras naturally belong side by side. Yoga Sutra 1.36 Vishoka va Jyotishmani Vishoka va Jyotishmati. Once again, Yoga Sutra 1.36 Vishoka va Jyotishmati. The mind becomes steady when it rests on inner light, free of sorrow. Yoga Sutra 1.37, which is Vitarag Vishayam va Chittam. Vitarag Vishayam va Chittam. The mind also becomes steady by remembering the qualities of a peaceful mind. So these are two paths, Yoga Sutra 1.36, Yoga Sutra 1.37. One is guiding us towards the inner light, while the other is focusing on remembering the qualities of a peaceful mind. And both these bring the mind to steadiness. So these two Yoga Sutra, when combined, are bringing the mind to steadiness. So let's look at Yoga Sutra 1.36, which says that the mind becomes steady when it rests on inner light. Now, what is this inner light? Let's understand a little bit about the inner light. The inner light in Yoga Sutra 1.36 is not physical light. It is the quiet, steady awareness inside of you. And you can notice it gently. You can notice it gently. Gently by, if you notice, the space between the eyebrows, which is also called Bhrūmadhya. Bhru is the eyebrows, Madhya is the middle. So if you notice this area, if you bring all your concentration onto Bhrūmadhya, you can find that inner light, free of sorrow. Also, if you closely listen to the inner sound, Nāda, the inner sound is called Nāda. So the inner light can be felt by either focusing here, Bhrūmadhya, or the space between the eyebrows, or listening to the soft inner sound. So this is 1.36, how this sutra guides us towards the inner light. Okay, so now the second sutra, which is sutra number 37, and which says that the mind also becomes steady when it remembers the qualities of a peaceful mind. Now, inner peace. Now, what is inner peace? Maharshi Patanjali gives us the explanation that the mind can also become calm when it remembers someone whose presence is peaceful, someone gentle, steady, and clear. Someone. This is not worship, it is reflection. When you remember calmness, you become calm. So, why these two sutras belong together? Why is it? Before I go in there, let me give a shout out to Lucy Vore. Hello, Lucy. How are you doing? Lucy, the 37th sutra is so beautiful that it says that you feel calm when you think of someone with a calm personality just by thinking, or it says by concentrating on, focusing on remembering the qualities of a peaceful mind. And so together, Yoga Sutra 1.36 turns awareness inward, whereas Yoga Sutra 1.37 turns awareness toward peace. Together they teach steadiness through inner light, steadiness through peaceful qualities, clarity through inward attention, calmness through gentle remembrance. So these are two directions, but one experience of steadiness. That's why these two sutra can be combined, brought together. Now, here is an analogy to understand a little more better. The lamp, remember the lamp we discussed earlier, and the lake. Lamp and lake is always going to be there in analogy. So, this inner light is like a lamp inside you. The lamp, the inner light is just like the lamp inside you. Peaceful qualities are like a still lake outside you. So, this inner light is like a lamp inside you. And the peaceful qualities are like a still lake outside you. When you look at the lamp, you feel clarity. And when you look at the lake, you feel calm. Both steady the mind. One is calm and the other is clarity. Both leads the mind to steadiness. You do not need dramatic experiences to find steadiness. A quiet light inside of you or a peaceful memory inside of you. That's enough. So, what do we practice today? Today, we practice both sutra together. We notice inner light through Bhrūmadhya or Nāda. Remember, Nāda, the inner soft sound. So, we practice Yoga Sutra 1.36, that is, the mind becomes steady when it rests on the inner light free of sorrow. And this can be experienced by two ways. One, focusing on here, the space between the eyebrows, which is Bhrūmadhya. That's the Sanskrit word, Bhrūmadhya. Madhya means middle and Bhru is eyebrow. So Bhrūmadhya. And there's another way to experience this inner light is through listening to the inner sound. Nāda. That's the Nād. Nād is the sound, inner sound. And second, this 37th Sutra of first chapter is, it says that remembering someone or remembering the qualities of a peaceful mind, letting both experiences steady the mind. This is what we are going to practice today. Soft repetition of Om, resting in quiet awareness. So let's begin our stillness practice combined with both Yoga Sutra. So first we will practice to settle our breath. So to practice settling our breath, we need to sit comfortably. And by now you know that when I say sit comfortably, make sure your back and spine is straight. Roll your shoulder if you have to. Open up your chest so your lungs get some extra space to work efficiently. So back and spine straight. Looking at a point at the eye level right in front of you. Keep looking at it until your eyes start to feel tired. You may close your eyes and soft inhale, soft exhale. So we do this 3 times. Soft inhale, soft exhale. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. One last time. Inhale, soft exhale. Excellent. So we just settled our breath by soft inhalation and soft exhalation. Now let's try to find the inner light. And the practice is, there are 2 ways we can, it's a practice, it's regular, we have to practice it regularly to find that inner light. So what we can do is, as now we have settled our breath, we would gently notice the space between our eyebrows, which is Bhrūmadhya. We'll only gently notice, nothing to do, gently notice the space between the eyebrows, Bhrūmadhya. You can softly inhale and exhale, but this time you're gently noticing the space between your eyebrows, Bhrūmadhya. Gentle inhale and exhale, and bring your focus to the middle of your, in between your eyebrows. Just focus and gently notice the inner light there. Gentle inhalation, exhalation. But at this time, your focus, you're noticing the Bhrūmadhya, or the space in between your eyebrows, to notice the inner light right here. Right here. You may open your eyes. In this is a continuous practice by which you can notice that inner light, but initially you may see something dark spot or something not really some kind of light like a lamp. As I said, you wouldn't see a lamp, but it is okay because you're not judging, you're not you're not doing anything other than just noticing, taking a note. You're just noticing if you can see the inner light right here in between the space between the eyebrows or Bhrūmadhya. So you may not see the light right now, but with practice, you may slowly see. If you bring all your concentration here at Bhrūmadhya, you may see the light. That comes with practice and just practice. Or there is another way that we listen to the soft inner sound. And how we do that? So there are various ways of listening to the inner sound. We have too many noise around us. But how do we listen to the inner sound? So to listen to our inner sound, you can just relax. Yes, this time you can relax. You can just relax. Don't worry about back and spine straight. Just relax. And just wherever you are, if you're seated on a chair, if you are seated on the mat, take the support of the wall and just slightly spread your legs if you're seated on the floor, and just listen to the loudest sound you can hear. Yes, in the room, the loudest. Now listen, try and listen to the next lowest sound. And once you're able to identify the lowest sound than the loudest, then you, in the next step, you'll concentrate, focus on to listening to the even lowest sound. So now, first you try to listen to the loudest sound that you could hear. Then the next lower, then the next lower, and then the next. So this way you keep at every level, you keep listening, taking a note, just noticing, just gently listening to the subtlest sound. And ultimately, you would listen to the inner sound. It is okay if the inner sound is the growling of your stomach or belly. It is okay as long as you are able to listen to the subtlest sound. So, this also you can practice on a regular basis, listening to the subtlest sound. So, now how do we find inner peace? Inner peace, Yoga Sutra 1.37. Now, before we go into Yoga Sutra 1.37, practicing to find inner peace, stay. Now, you would just breathe few times, but softly. So now, You may think that, oh, that is the life's question, finding inner peace. But Yoga Sutra 1.37 tells us that it is, we just have to try and find, just think of someone, anyone, anyone whose presence feels calm. Think of anyone. Your could be your loved one, your from family, your friend, or anybody. Think of anyone whose presence feels calm. Anyone. So you can do this. To do this, you would sit comfortably, that is, your back and spine straight, and your chin slightly tucked in. And now remember anyone whose presence makes you feel calm. I can think of my children, my parents, my siblings, calm. Or you can also think of, try and remember of any flower or any moment that the that moment or that object makes you feel calm. So that's the practice 1.37, that it's, we just notice as we think of, if that's a person, if that's an object, what is to be done in Yoga Sutra 1.37 practice is that we remember the qualities of the peaceful mind. The qualities of the peaceful mind. Is it the gentleness? Is it the clarity? Is it the steadiness? So these qualities that we remember, which quality? Is it the gentleness of that person, if it is a person? Is it the clarity? So which quality of that peaceful mind that you need to remember? So now let both these Yoga Sutras meet. Let's see what happens. Inner light, inner peace, but one steady mind. So the mind can be led towards steadiness, either Yoga Sutra 1.36, that is, when the mind rests on the inner light. And the mind can also become steady when it is remembering the qualities of a peaceful mind. Now let us practice bhavna. Bhavna, the contemplation. So both light and peace, that is already within us. So we settled our breath. We are seated with back and spine straight, and say to yourself that both the inner light and the inner peace is within me. All I need to do is to have the mind rest on these. So I have of course, everyday challenge. So today, the challenge is that you would pause once. Just pause and practice both sutra. You would notice the inner light. Now, we did practice inner light by focusing on Bhrūmadhya or just concentrating on the space between the eyebrows to find that inner light. Or just trying and listening to the soft inner sound, Nāda. Or you could try 1.37, either 1.36, which is inner light, or you could practice 1.37, which is remembering someone peaceful. Anyone from your family, your friends, anybody, remember someone peaceful. And just stay with the quality of that peaceful mind. So that's your challenge for today, that today you will pause once and practice either sutras or both sutras. You will notice the inner light, and if you're doing both together, you will also remember someone peaceful. One moment of light and one moment of peace. Day 37 reminds us that steadiness comes from within. Steadiness comes from within and from what we choose to remember. So steadiness comes from within. No matter how many times someone from outside tells us or gives us all those methods or techniques, but the steadiness, the inner light and inner peace is within us. We just need to find some time and to notice that. Day 37, of course, reminds us that steadiness comes from within and also from what we choose to remember. What we choose to remember. Thank you for participating in this both sutras 1.37 and 36 together today with me. We meet again tomorrow. Until then, stay warm, stay open, and stay honest to your own story.